I try to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, you know what I mean? But Adam22 is 1,000% assisting the feds, the cops, everything, bro. The way he just keeps on just asking the question.
All right, what it do, what it is, what it was. This is your boy Pocho of the Pocho Podcast. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications and support a real one in the field. Is Adam22 a Fed? Is he assisting the police? Let me know in the comments. We already know what's cracking. If you don't know, now you know. You're at the Pocho Podcast, where we ask what, when, why, and how. So the What is No Jumper, the biggest podcast on the West Coast for hip-hop. Hosted by Adam22. The What also is big Sureño energy. Lucky from HoodStocks calling out Adam22 historically has not been a big supporter of the No Jumper platform, and I totally understand why. The why is recently there has been a huge federal indictment on the rolling 60s. There's so much content you can go to all those platforms like Poetic Flocka, who is blowing up. Salute to the boy from the East Coast, I think, right? Philly, nah. North Dakota, South Dakota, who knows? Rolling 60s, federal indictment, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, Big U, they all went down. We're going to see what happens next. But the bigger question for me is, are these platforms federal agents? Are they cop lovers? Do they assist the police? Do what we say on here help the police catch people in the streets? Is it the podcaster's fault, or is it the criminal's fault? You know, is it society's fault, or is it the person's fault? Is it the platform that platforms these guys coming off the street and telling their gory stories for views? Or is it, is it the evil white man using black death, brown and black violence in Los Angeles to get views? Is it his fault? Whose fault is it? For me, I believe it's everybody's. We can't just blame Adam22. He is a white guy from New Hampshire. He is a hip hop fan, and you can tell. And I think he's overall put a lot of people in play to help their communities and help their families and our world. But let's be honest. When I interview somebody, why don't I do interviews anymore? Because they don't get views. People don't want to listen for 2 hours to somebody upcoming anymore. They want to hear what you got to say about those rappers instead of interviewing those rappers. So Adam22 is feeding the people what they want. If it bleeds, it leads. And that means, why do you think when you watch the news, I call it the bad news? You feel me? If you watch the news, all you hear is death, violence, destruction, and sometimes at the end they'll have like a little, story to get you on your way. I believe is a way of scaring you, to make, conservative views, or to make you scared of each other instead of trying to come together. The media is a scary thing. That's why I want to combat that with trying to tell the truth online, and I get hated on crazy. So Lucky, recently in one of his podcasts, he brings up and he says, he's a Fed.
And I'll say this too, Wack 100, and I ain't gonna lie, I've been watching these videos lately. Why?
I have been watching those videos lately, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna I know you guys really like to see everything in the background or right away, the clip, but I'm so scared of getting struck out and everything. I got shadow banned on Instagram, so I gotta keep it safe. But I do think that I want to also know what you guys think about Wack 100. I've never in my whole life seen a gang member that old being open just to say whatever on the mic. And I understand that Big U was trying to take him down, or that they had a versus, but I want to go back to this question. Where are the boundaries in podcasting? Where are the boundaries, right? Because if there's no institution like CNN, Fox, ABC that have well-respected names, and you're just a poppin' podcast, you can do whatever, and it can have detrimental effects on the community. And that's what Lucky is saying. He thinks that Adam is having detrimental effects on the Latino and Black community of Los Angeles and getting rich while he does it. I would say a lot of people are doing that. We could even say is HoodStocks making money off its own people, but it's him. What I like HoodStocks so much is it really comes from Luck. Lucky's not a fan of gangs. Lucky's not a fan of prison. I mean, Lucky really wasn't a gang. It isn't a gang. Lucky, respectfully. I don't even want to start becoming. That's why I don't even want to become started in the feds. Lucky is part of a community. right? He's experienced prison, he experienced drugs, he experienced all these things that he's talking about, and generally speaking, he's trying to help his people get out of that. Now, Adam didn't experience prison. Has never experienced poverty. He has never experienced the trauma that gangs do to our communities, and he's never seen how a mother really feels. And yes, I guess he goes back and forth, and he's learning a lot. But in the end, Adam is a fan, and I am a fan or supporter of No Jumper because I think overall is trying to do good and trying to navigate these crazy political gang waters. But in the end, that's what the kids want to see, the streets, and Adam is presenting the streets to the kid. And I think it's for us to be more responsible with how we view things. And if we don't like something, turn the page. We don't got to cancel people. We don't got to do these crazy things like Wack and Blue Devil going at it, and Loose and other people going at it. So much going so hard at each other that now they're all federally indicted, and maybe they deserve what they made their bed and they're gonna lie in it. Now I wonder what's Wack's role. Does he just want to see all these 60s guys go down and then kind of take over the nonprofit that Big U had? Because he brought it up in Big U's last video. He said that Wack 100 is gonna take over, and somebody from the Rolling 60s has to pop up and take the reins now before somebody else comes from another community and takes over. So is it some big conspiracy that Wack is knocking down all his enemies so he can run LA, be the big blood of Los Angeles, even though he's from Pacoima? Shout out to Pacas and the San Fernando Valley. I used to live in CSUN right there, Northridge, off of Roscoe. Boundaries, I always say I don't like to sex play fools. When things come up on the internet about them like that, I don't. And when they tried to do that to me, I took note of the people that hated on me and the people that showed respect, and I'm never gonna forget that part. You feel me? Because I think sex play is basically when you don't have nothing on somebody, you're gonna go to their sex play or sexuality, and I think that's just like super random and weird.
And I'll say this too, Wack 100, and I ain't gonna lie, I've been watching these videos lately. Wow,
I have been too.
Interesting, dog. You know what I mean? I've been giving No Jumper views lately, and I never give that.
I be giving No Jumper views all the time though.
Dude, the dude is just keeps on asking the question. Channel.
So they're saying it's a narc channel. Do you guys think it's a narc channel? If you look at it one way, it could be, but that means all media is. And I do think it's on the artist and the podcaster and whoever's being interviewed or podcast. Say you're podcasting with Adam, bro, you gotta come ready. That fool's a professional, you know what I mean? He's a millionaire. He's making business decisions on this. He's not moving with emotion. He's moving with business, intellect. So you got to move in the same way. You can't move with emotion like that. And that's why I think it's on us. If we're going to go up to these big platforms, we have to be responsible with the stories we tell, what those details can do to our future. If you saw Brick Baby talking about he has more skulls than this fool has fades or something to Loose Cannon, he's admitting that he's knocked people down on the internet. And if you've really done that, self-snitching like crazy. And I don't think there's a statute of limitations on homicide, baby. So people be more responsible with what you do on the internet. Another reason why I don't go live is because people just want to ask you the most random questions, and sometimes if you're feeling emotional, you might answer that. And even if you delete that live, somebody could screen record it, so everything is pre-recorded. Just like I learned from LA Icon, I want to control my narrative, you feel me? And that's once I did learn some things from that fat fuck. I don't think No Jumper and Adam is directly assisting the police and the Fed. I do think though that he's the major platform that they're pulling from, make these people never come home or miss their families for a long time. And the problem with all of this is that we don't get to see Brick Baby's family, Loose Cannon's family, Big U's family. It was sad you saw Big U kind of do a thing when he was leaving with his family, but Big U should have thought about that, his family, before he started doing what allegedly he did. Loose Cannon should have thought about his family before he started doing allegedly what he did. I think he's just having a son. Brick Baby, the same thing, should have thought about that before he went on a platform with millions and millions of subscribers and self-snitched. So I just think that we, as a community, especially a Latino community, need to learn from this. And again, I don't think Adam22 is assisting them. I don't think Adam22 is part of the feds or the police or came in to divide our people like in a conspiratorial way. But I do think that there are some things, just like with every platform, like CNN is becoming too left-wing, Fox is too right-wing, MSNBC is too left-wing. There's no more, I can't watch the news because I can't trust it. So the only thing I would say for Adam is I always try to go back to the, it's hard because to the No Jumper of the golden age when you were putting people on and not focus as much on gossip and kind of the Jerry Springer, the new Jerry Springer. Same time, I'm I'm involved, you know what I mean? A lot of people, you know, in Northern California honestly don't know what no jumper is, but I'm in the niche, baby, and you got me. So if you got me, you're gonna get other people. So people, is this drama good? Do we like it? Is that what we want to see? Or do we want to see like more artists being put on and their stories, so we can get away from these federal indictments? If you notice, I never bring up real details of anybody. I never say names of people I grew up with, where they live, where I'm at, all these different things. Podcasters come and I suggest you keep the blood and gut. If it bleeds, it leads is true, but there's certain things I don't touch, and that's why I don't have as much followers as other people, because I'm not willing to dry snitch on people. I'm not willing to talk about like crime. Like I wanted to talk about like some of these crimes that are happening all through California, you know, but then I just thought about it. I'm perpetuating crime, and I'm you know, bringing up the most traumatic moment in a bunch of families' lives for views, and that's not something I want to do. I want to get to the truth. Is Adam22 a Fed? I believe not. But does Lucky have some truth in what he's saying? Yes. And I think Lucky has the right to feel that way, and him saying it the way he says it makes people react, and it made me react. So I think everybody's right. Shout out to Florida fools.
I don't want to call them idiots, but I'll call them men or call him in. Hey, Bubba. Bro, everything that is in the...
That's another thing. I can't believe that these vatos are calling in from jail, bro, from jail. And they're worried about, is the content doing good? We got content. We got content. Sweetie! Sweetie! He's going to be screaming something else soon. I'm not really feeling the guy loose cannon.
He must have something.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's another thing I don't know. Does Wack have something over Adam? Does Adam have something over Wack? You feel me? I do think that the Adam and Wack show is a show I watch. I think it's every Sunday. It's a little edgy, but I feel like that's where people want to go. They want to go to two people saying the most edgiest things that you could hear and seeing what happens. You know, as long as it's not affecting you, right? The problem is all these viewers and members and subscribers are like in Indiana. They're not affected by this, but we are. So we need to remember that when we're doing this, you know, entertainment. The main thing is, I think Lucky has right to say that this guy's assisting the police. I don't think he's assisting the police, but I do think his platform, you know, just by its nature is assisting the police. But bro, you gotta also remember, like, anytime anybody does something, they always go through the media to check out, you know, about that person. So is it the media's fault or is it the criminal's fault? I think it's overall still the criminal's fault. If you're gonna commit crime, like Trap Lord said, Trap Lord Ross or whatever, at the end of his video, 3-hour video, go check it out though. If you're gonna commit crime, I think it's better you don't go on major podcasts and talk about those crimes. Leave the streets for the streets. Leave the entertainment and music and arts for the arts. You can mimic it a little bit, but you gotta keep them separate. And that's what I've been telling everybody. Keep the streets for the streets, because they always win, baby. Humble yourself and try to find something more entertaining to talk about. This is your boy, Pocho of the Pocho Podcast. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications and support a real one in the field. And let me know if you think Adam22, No Jumper, or FBI agents assisting the police bad for the Los Angeles community and the overall community, or do they put hella people on and it's for us to be more responsible when we go up to these major hip-hop platforms. This is your boy, Pocho One, and I'm out.